everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I'm here to do the second episode of Scrapliftable. So this is the new series that Leah, Ray, and I are doing once a month, where we're finding a very fun layout that we're both inspired by, and we're going to scrap lift. We are big scrap lifters. Leah scrap lifts all the time. I do as well. I find it's almost always my starting point is to look on Pinterest and find something that inspires me. I don't always scrap lift it exactly, but I at least get my inspiration from it. So it is a way I scrapbook. Today we are going to scrapbook the fabulous Missy Whidden, of course, and hopefully this is focusing for you. But it is a layout she created for the Hip Kit Club, and it was the one with all the beautiful triangles. So I love this, and I'm very, very inspired and excited to get started. So that's the layout we are working with. My idea here is to use my stencil that you see. I've used this multiple times in multiple different ways, and I love this stencil. It's been very well loved. I almost need to buy another one that maybe has a few more bigger triangles in them as well. I don't know. I'll get there when I need to. But my goal here is to use that, and then if you saw my layout for my Obsessed series, my last layout for that, where I did, it ended up being a layout of a Christmas layout about Christmas morning. I had used this Redalicious and this bamboo leaf to create some mixed media, and then I had added in a blue color. And it worked out just fine, but I had wished that I hadn't, and I had just used these two colors. So I'm gonna kind of play off, I think, of that, and maybe start with these two colors and see where I can go from there. Not saying it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna bring in other colors. Chances are that with these colors being used, it will be a Christmas layout because this is quite Christmassy. But I don't know, there's something about the tones of these colors together, because I don't like really dark greens. Like, I have a hard time scrapping with both of these colors, especially on their own. But this is a light enough red that it truly works, and I can make it work within my style. And this green, when it's sprayed lightly, is so pretty to the point where I'm almost starting to love scrapping with green, and I have a hard time doing that. So it's really neat. And just in case you're wondering, you can probably, I believe both of these are still in stock, pick these up at Spigamo Scrap Shop. And if you've never used, never purchased anything there before or used my code, you can get yourself 15% off. You just use my name, Christy15. And you will, so stack up your cart with lots of really fun things, and you will get 15% off your entire order. And she has beautiful shimmers options for you to use if you're into mixed media and you just want to start out. So that was a long rambling, but let me get you on fast forward and let's see what we can create being inspired by the fabulous Missy Whidden. Thanks, guys.
Alright, so I'm going to start with this awesome piece of pattern paper. It just has some gold polka dots on it. Really pretty, and I thought it would lend itself really well to a Christmas layout, which is my goal here. I'm going to grab the red Dazzlers, and I keep calling it Redalicious, but you know, I really don't think that's what it's actually called. It's red something. Maybe it's red, I don't know. But it's the red color. That's a lighter red. So I'm using that as my texture for the first bit of triangle, and then I'm going to take that stencil and just completely rotate it on its, or flip it around basically. And now I'm going to use my bamboo leaf, which is the vibes that I have, and I'm just going to mist it. I misted it very lightly, and I even went back a little bit, but I didn't want it to be too heavy. I still think I could have gone and done a little bit heavier, but it's all right. I'm okay with the final results here. It still looks really neat. And it's a lot harder to see it on camera than in real life. You can see the green a lot easier. So sometimes it's just you don't want to overdo it, and so you pull back a little bit, and that's kind of what happened with that case. in this case, oh man, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Sorry, my words probably aren't coming to me very well here. I'm also just trying to decide which Christmas photo I want to use. I knew this was going to be a Christmas layout from the get-go. I just didn't know which ones I wanted to use. I am going to debate between my nails. That's a photo of my Christmas nails and this Starbucks cup. And I'm going to start off with just using the Starbucks cup. I took a picture of that with my Christmas tree one year. And this was in 2015, so not last Christmas, but the Christmas before that. It was a little bit of a rougher year. Not for my family or anything, just for me. My work situation had changed. I had started a new job, but it actually wasn't the right fit, and I was working some really weird shifts because, of course, you're the new person. So it just was one of those things that it's all good now that I look back at it. It's fine. I don't have any hard feelings about it, but it was definitely a harder year than the year before that or this year. This year was amazing. And so it's just something that my title just kind of helps to document that. And I'm going to make a little note in my journaling talking about it, and I'm going to scrap it once here. I put a little tiny bit in my December daily, and I'm just going to let it go. So with that, I figured if I used a few things that kind of help get me through the season for myself to help make it a little bit better than how I was feeling, it was worth it there. So I found that this photo fit perfectly nestled in between some of the triangles that were there. So I used just a little bit of red tissue paper and a little tiny bit of a pattern paper that came from a card. Actually, pattern paper is supposed to be meant to be used for cards, and so I just kept it and used it obviously for pattern paper in my December daily, and it was the perfect kind of tone to work there. I also had that little strip that says, "Have yourself a merry little Christmas." I have had that border strip for a very, very long time, so I was very excited to get this on the layout finally. But because it had black on it, it is going to make me go and do some black elements that you'll see in a minute. I'm trying to show you that I used Pink Brush Studios and then a thicker type word to make my title, and it says "Living on the Red Cup" is what it's going to say right now. And then I'm going to go in and do some stitching. That's what I'm showing you there. I have my black thread. That's where the black elements come in through. And then I'm going to come back in and add that second photo. I just decided I like the way that it looked with that as well, the pop of red. And I'm just going to extend my title now. So now it says "Living on the Red Cup" and "Fancy Nails." Really think that's kind of neat. It's just what got me through that year. So I thought it was going to work well. I don't do a whole lot to that other photo to spruce it up much. I'm going to add a little bit of a little bit more, that red stuff, tissue paper. I'm so sorry. It's so early in the morning. And then I'm going to do a little bit of embellishing that I thought was completely recorded and on camera and good to go. And somehow I must not have actually hit the button, because as you're going to see me fiddle with this title for quite a while, and then it goes away. I don't know what happened. So I'm going to come back live so you can see my finishing touches on what I did, and that's going to wrap it up for this layout. So just hang tight, and I do apologize about that. Also, don't forget to check out Leah's take for this episode. It was a fun scrap lift, and again, this is a scrap lift that we did using being inspired by the fabulous Missy Whidden with all of the fabulous triangles she had used for a hip kit layout that she had done, I think back in January. So I will make sure to leave the link for that, and I will be back live with you in just a moment.
Hi everyone, so I'm really, really sorry. There's lots of noise and all that. You're going to hear Jackson saying, "Mommy, did you find your train?" Here is my finished layout.
Mommy. Mommy.
Shh, baby, mommy's talking. I got sent to the hospital this weekend, and there's just a lot of things that happen. I thought that while I was recording my little bit of touches, finishing touches, it had recorded. Somehow it did not. I must not have actually hit the button. So I just wanted to quickly go over that with you and show you. So let me bring it up close. I didn't do a lot of embellishing actually. So to finish highlighting this photo that I added at the end, I added the tissue paper in red, same one as this one. And then I just added a little frame from the, what is this from? The Paige Evans' very first line, her Fancy Free line, that frame that went with it. I liked the color green. I thought it played off well, so I added that. A little wood veneer little ornament there, tied a little bow, just a little tag, some more of this Season's Wishes black, so there's a little bit more black on the layout, and then just this little snowflake tab, and then I added a little bit more green at the bottom right here as well. I had bordered this on camera, but I didn't know if you actually saw me do that or not, but it's just a really pretty red that I had. And then again, my title just says Living On, the Red Cup, and Fancy Nails, and I added just one more wood veneer. There is only wood veneer in 2 places. I do normally add it in 3, but this is kind of where I was. I do plan on adding my journaling. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to add it down here or if I'm going to just add it kind of right here, pointing into my my title. So I'm not exactly sure about that yet, but that is where it came from. So please don't forget to go check out Leah's take. She most likely will have posted hers before mine because I am just getting this up today and it is the 20th today. But like I said, it's been a very long weekend. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I will be back on the 20th of April for our next episode. We just do it once a month right now, especially because this little one is, I'm being induced literally in 6 days, so I probably am going to be a little quiet on my channel, but I'm going to have a little post about that coming up this week. And that's all I have. So yes, don't forget to check out Leah's take. This was a scrap lift from the fabulous Missy Whidden, and I will make sure to show you her awesome layout. I really just kind of took on the triangles of her layout and then it kind of turned into my own layout. This is what happens with scrap lifts with me a lot of times. I don't actually follow. I was actually planning on adding way more triangles and doing it much more like her original layout. It just didn't turn into that. It turned into this, and I'm really happy with it. So I'm okay with that, but I'll make sure to leave that. I'll link it to the Pinterest photo that I have. I do believe that she had created it for a hip kit, so you can always go on the hip kit forum somewhere and I'm sure you'd see it there, or Missy's own channel, and you could actually see her process. So that's all I've got. I hope that everyone's having a good day, a good start to their week, and you won't see me as much for the next little bit, but I will be around. So thanks everyone so much. Bye!